Hey there, traveler friends. We just had the most incredible adventure exploring the stunning beauty of Canada's maritime provinces. Join me in this two-part series as we unravel the magic of the Maritimes. In the first episode of this series, we flew into PEI, where we saw the beautiful West Point Lighthouse, the amazing tides at Hopewell Rocks in New Brunswick. We then went to Nova Scotia, that truly embodies the heart and soul of maritime Canada, is a dream come true for a travel lover. The maritime provinces are a tapestry of nature, diversity, and above all, an influence that is so rich that you have to experience it to believe it. So sit back, relax, and let's embark on this unforgettable journey together. You will be mesmerized to see the charm of Peggy's Cove, where we will see the most fascinating lighthouse ever. We will also witness the maritime beauty of Lunenburg. Take the NFL ferry to head back to beautiful PEI for the final 2 days of our trip, where we visit Charlottetown, Annie's Green Gables, and bask in the beautiful Cavendish Beach. Our story resumes from day 5 morning as we witness the beautiful setting of our Cabotrel Hotel, Mountain View Motel and Cottages located at Pleasant Bay. So day 5 morning from Pleasant Bay. It's so beautiful out here. Morning is lovely, and today also we have almost 470 kilometers to go
to Peggy's Cove.
Yeah, to Peggy's Cove, which is close to Halifax. So we had a wonderful Cabot Trail experience yesterday, and we are all geared up. I picked up some magnets at a local souvenir shop and then headed to the popular Aucoin Bakery. This is a delightful little bakery with lots of reasonably priced delicious treats and baked goods. I found the prices to be very reasonable. It was now time for us to leave behind beautiful Cabot Trail, Cape Breton Island, and we were on our way to the distant Peggy's Cove.
Peggy's Cove.
It was a long drive with short breaks before reaching the Halifax area. We decided to skip Halifax at this tour and rather spend as much time as possible at the iconic Peggy's Cove. So we are at Peggy's Cove, parked our car and got some beautiful drone shots. Nova Scotia is home to over 160 historic lighthouses, but none as popular as the one in the vibrant fishing village of Peggy's Cove. Located just an hour from Halifax, Peggy's Point Lighthouse still keeps watch over surging ocean waters and working lobster boats. Built in 1915, this classic red and white lighthouse might just be the most photographed iconic landmark in Canada. Capturing the essence of Peggy's Cove was a highlight of our journey. The drone shots of Peggy's Cove Lighthouse against the wild Atlantic Ocean offered one of the most iconic backdrops ever for my videos, and I was simply delighted. Peggy's Cove Village is famed for its picturesque and typically East Coast profile, with houses perched along a narrow inlet and on wave-washed boulders facing the Atlantic. Although this unique environment has been designated a preservation area, it is still an active fishing community. So Peggy's Cove Lighthouse is not the only place, it's the surrounding little quaint village, the fisherman's village. As you can see behind me, that's also equally beautiful. So when you are here, make sure that you make a quick stroll around the little town. There is beauty in every nook and corner of this little fishing village. So amazing.
Loving Peggy's Cove.
A walk through the Peggy's Cove fishing village is a journey through time. Here we watched one of the most stunning sunsets ever. We wanted to stay somewhere close to Lunenburg, hence chose to spend the night at the nearby town of Bridgewater. Our adventure continues on day 6 as we drive to Lunenburg, a UNESCO heritage site. The colorful town is a perfect canvas for my camera with its iconic architecture and charming waterfront. Day 6 morning, we are at Lunenburg. Old Town Lunenburg's distinctive waterfront with its colorful buildings, charming restaurants, distilleries are very unique. 70% of the original colonial buildings from the 18th and 19th centuries continue to greet visitors with these colorful facades. I'm standing in front of that marquee place where you have those beautiful colorful houses. Established in 1753, it has retained its original layout. Here we explored the fascinating Fisheries Museum of the Atlantic, which commemorates the fishing heritage of the Atlantic coast. Housed in brightly painted red buildings, which have pretty much become the symbol of Lunenburg, the museum offers a host of attractions. So heading to the Fisheries Museum. The museum opens seasonally from mid-May to mid-October.
So your bracelet is good right up until 5 o'clock.
Galleries here unfold stories and artifacts about the diverse fishing heritage that is heavily entwined with the coastal way of life. Within the walls of a former fish processing plant, these stories come to life. Inside the museum, there is so much to see and do. Even a day is not enough, so we are just skimming through the best parts and it's incredible. Lunenburg is birthplace of the original Blue Nose. The Blue Nose was a celebrated fishing and racing ship built in 1921 and became an icon of Nova Scotia and also appears in the Canadian dime. That was it from Atlantic Museum. Pretty quick because we didn't have much time. But overall it's a great place to be. Enjoy the views of the lake in front and obviously the marquee picture where you have the red Fisheries Museum with the lake at the foreground. After Lunenburg, we bid farewell to Nova Scotia as we headed back towards Prince Edward Island. This time, we took the Northumberland ferries to enter PEI. We boarded from Caribou, Nova Scotia, and guess what? It was absolutely free as we were entering PEI. The ship was huge and carried several cars. It opens up for the cars to get in, and we'll go to the basement. We are actually going to the basement of the ship. See, people who have already parked their car, they are boarding from that. It's a huge ferry. So we are literally the last car in this whole line. We made it. We sneaked in somehow at the last moment of 140 ferry. This voyage offers a variety of onboard amenities and services tailored to the maritime experience. It had an onboard restaurant and great seating arrangements. One, you have the seafood chowder, right? Yeah. You also have soup of the day. You also have so many different varieties, options. And I think our boat has started. Bye bye Nova Scotia. We are certainly gonna miss Nova Scotia. It was such an amazing experience over the last 3 days. The ferry is a great option as one ends up spending less time behind the wheel and more time taking in the beauty of the Atlantic coast. And Ayush is busy already with his seaside activity book, right?
Yeah. Going from Caribou to Wood Island.
We entered PEI at the Wood Island and enjoyed the charming lighthouse there. We crossed through that ferry, it's still standing there, and there you see the Wood Island lighthouse. Don't miss this place, it's very picturesque, the typical white-red lighthouse that you see in PEI. The Wood Island lighthouse, built in 1876, has a 54 feet square tower still attached to a 2-story 6-bedroom home. We then headed to the capital of PEI, Charlottetown. We visited the Notre Dame Church and explored glimpses of the old city. It It is at Charlottetown that Canada was formed in 1867 as a confederation. Next, we tried the legendary Cove's ice cream for the first time.
Cow's ice cream at Charlottetown.
Cove's has become almost a folklore in Canada and is easily considered Canada's best ice cream.
Too good, guys.
For our last 2 nights, we had booked hotel at the picturesque Bay Vista Hotel in Cavendish. Cavendish is at the north shore of PEI and is famous for its red sand beach. The ambience of the hotel was very quiet and we enjoyed a nice stay there. Day 7, we woke up early to witness the sunrise from one of the several lookouts at the Prince Edward Island National Park. The sound of the waves seemed music to our ears as the day started to get brighter with the brilliant rising sun. On Prince Edward Islands, the soil takes on a distinctive hue of red from an abundance of iron. The soft red sandstone has eroded over time, producing about 500 miles of rosy sand beaches. Guys, so we are driving to Cape Tryon Lighthouse. Like, this is like a dirt road driving, so just being very careful to drive, but looks like a fantabulous view. One of the very interesting lighthouses close to Cavendish is the Cape Tryon Lighthouse. More than the rugged destination, it is the off-road bumpy drive that made it so memorable. One of PEI's hidden treasures, it was built in 1906 and guided mariners along the north coast of PEI, providing warning to the shallow waters.
Tryon Lighthouse. It's amazing, very secluded. It's beautiful.
We returned to our hotel for a scrumptious breakfast and headed to the famous Annie's Green Gables historic site.
We parked our car and this is where we would be entering the Green Gables. We'll give you this kind of a badge.
Activities in the barn just behind us, as well as a little cafe.
Just for a brief background, Annie of Green Gables is a 1908 novel by Canadian author Lucy Montgomery. It has been considered a classic children's novel since the mid-20th century. Montgomery infused the work with her own girlhood experiences and the rural life and traditions of Prince Edward Island, where she grew up very close to Cavendish. Annie's Green Gables historic site creates the narrative in the landscape that inspired the setting of Annie of Green Gables in its 19th century house, gardens, farmyard, walking trails, including the Haunted Wood and Lover's Lane.
Like green or purple?
Wow.
I know, it's a tough choice.
Well, Green Gables for green.
That's good thinking.
We now drove to soak up the sunshine at Cavendish Beach. Cavendish Beach, with its signature views of rugged red sandstone cliffs, is world-renowned for its connection to author Montgomery and her novel Annie of Green Gables. The cliffs at the Cavendish Beach and the Prince Edward Islands National Park stand as a testament. We all had a great time at the beach and it was very refreshing to walk on the red sand.
And I'm with my mom, so that makes it extra special.
We headed then to Rustico Harbour, which is not too far away. It was lunchtime and we were hungry, just in time for a fabulous lunch at the OnTheDock eatery at North Rustico.
Amazing stuff. The fish was so fresh. Deep sea fishing at the Bob's Deep Sea Fishing. Mike had an amazing catch, I think, at Bob's Fishing. So these are mackerel.
Mackerel, we got some cod too.
Hey, these guys had an excellent time, I guess. How long was the fishing tour for?
About 2 hours.
We then continued on to the Cove Harbour Lighthouse, one of the most photographed lighthouses in PEI. It is located among the sand dunes of PEI National Park.
Guys, sand dune with the lighthouse. Cove Lighthouse.
We spent several relaxing hours at the glorious golden sand beach at the Cove Harbour.
Extraordinary beach.
We wrapped up our day as we drove back to the Bay Vista Hotel in Cavendish on what would be our final night at the gorgeous Prince Edward Island. On our final day, we made our way back to Charlottetown Airport
Prince Edward Island.
Bye-bye.
for a flight back to Toronto. Looking back, what an incredible journey it has been. From the lighthouses, Hopewell Rocks, Cabot Trail, Peggy's Cove, Lunenburg, and of course, incredible food. The Maritimes leave such a lasting impression. Thanks for joining me on this adventure, and be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more travel inspiration. Until next time, keep exploring.